The orientation of screw slots on electrical receptacle plates is a consideration in environments with high humidity levels. The reasoning is that in such environments moisture can condense on surfaces, including electrical outlet plates. If the screw slots are horizontal, condensation might accumulate in the slot and potentially drip into the receptacle, leading to a short circuit or other electrical issues. Orienting the screw slots vertically allows any accumulated condensation to drip down the face of the plate and onto the wall, rather than directly into the electrical connections. This practice is more relevant in areas with high humidity like bathrooms, kitchens, and unconditioned spaces such as garages. While the National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not explicitly mandate the vertical orientation of receptacle screw slots, is considered a best practice by some electricians, especially in damp or humid locations. It is worth noting that electrical codes and practices can vary by locality, and some jurisdictions might have specific requirements or recommendations regarding this. However, the principle behind it is based on preventing potential electrical hazards caused by moisture. It's important to consult local electrical codes and regulations and follow the guidance of qualified electricians to ensure safe and compliant electrical installations. In areas with typical humidity levels, the orientation of the screw slots is less critical from a safety perspective. The design of modern electrical receptacles also incorporates features to minimize the risk of short circuits due to condensation. Ultimately, the vertical screw slot orientation is a precautionary measure to enhance electrical safety in damp or humid conditions. When installing electrical outlets, several factors should be taken into account to ensure safety and compliance with electrical codes. Firstly, always turn off the power to the circuit at the breaker box before working on any electrical components. This is essential to prevent electrical shock. Secondly, use the correct type of receptacle for the application. For example, ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, receptacles are required in bathrooms, kitchens, and other damp locations to protect against electrical shock. Thirdly, ensure that the receptacle is properly grounded. This means connecting the grounding wire from the circuit to the grounding terminal in the receptacle. Fourthly, follow the manufacturer's instructions for wiring the receptacle. Incorrect wiring can create a fire hazard. Fifthly, use the correct wire gauge for the circuit. The wire gauge must be appropriate for the amperage of the circuit to prevent overheating. Sixthly, make sure all wire connections are tight and secure. Loose connections can cause arcing and overheating. Seventhly, use a receptacle tester to verify that the receptacle is wired correctly after installation. Eighthly, do not overload the circuit. Overloading can cause the breaker to trip or create a fire hazard. Ninthly, if you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the job. Tenthly, inspect the receptacle periodically for any signs of damage or wear. Replace damaged receptacles immediately. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides comprehensive guidelines for electrical installations to ensure safety and prevent electrical hazards. Some key sections of the NEC that are relevant to receptacle installations include Article 210, which covers branch circuits and includes requirements for the number and location of receptacles in different types of rooms. Article 250 addresses grounding and bonding, which are essential for electrical safety. Article 314 covers outlet, device, and junction boxes, and includes requirements for box fill and support. Article 406 covers receptacles, cord connectors, and attachment plugs, and includes requirements for the type and installation of receptacles. Article 517 addresses healthcare facilities, which have specific requirements for electrical safety. Article 547 covers agricultural buildings, which also have specific requirements for electrical safety. It is important to consult the latest edition of the NEC and any local amendments to ensure compliance with all applicable requirements. Additionally, local building codes may have additional requirements that are not covered in the NEC. Therefore, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector to ensure that all electrical installations are safe and compliant. Grounding is a critical aspect of electrical safety. It provides a low resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which causes the circuit breaker to trip and de-energizes the circuit. This prevents electrical shock hazards and reduces the risk of fire. The grounding system consists of the grounding electrode conductor, which connects the grounding electrode to the neutral bus in the service panel. The grounding electrode can be a ground rod, a metal water pipe, or a concrete encased electrode. The equipment grounding conductor connects the metal enclosures of electrical equipment to the grounding bus in the service panel. This provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source if there is a short circuit in the equipment. Bonding is the process of connecting all metal parts of the electrical system together to create a common ground. This includes metal conduits, metal enclosures, and metal water pipes. Bonding ensures that all metal parts are at the same potential, which reduces the risk of electrical shock. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, requires that all electrical systems be properly grounded and bonded. Article 250 of the NEC provides detailed requirements for grounding and bonding. It is important to follow these requirements to ensure electrical safety. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are another important safety device that protects against electrical shock. GFCIs monitor the current flowing in the circuit and compare it to the current returning. If there is a difference of more than 5 mA, the GFCI will trip and energize the circuit. This can happen if someone touches a live wire and current flows through their body to ground. GFCIs are required in bathrooms, kitchens, and other damp locations where there is a high risk of electrical shock. They are also recommended for outdoor receptacles and receptacles in unfinished basements. Arc fault circuit interrupters, or SIs, are another type of circuit breaker that protects against fires caused by arcing faults. Arcing faults can occur when there is a loose connection, damaged wire, or other condition that causes electricity to jump across a gap. This can generate heat and ignite nearby combustible materials. SIs are designed to detect arcing faults and trip the circuit breaker before a fire can start. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, requires SIs in many locations, including bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms. Surge protectors protect electronic equipment from damage caused by voltage surges. Voltage surges can be caused by lightning strikes, power outages, or other electrical disturbances. Surge protectors work by diverting excess voltage to ground, which prevents it from reaching the equipment. Surge protectors are available in different types, including whole-house surge protectors and plug-in surge protectors. Whole-house surge protectors are installed at the service panel and protect all of the electrical equipment in the house. Plug-in surge protectors are plugged into individual receptacles and protect the equipment plugged into the receptacle. When selecting a surge protector, it is important to choose one that is rated for the voltage and amperage of the circuit. It is also important to choose a surge protector that has a high surge current capacity. This is the amount of current that the surge protector can handle without being damaged. Electrical safety inspections are an important part of maintaining a safe electrical system. Electrical inspections can identify potential hazards and ensure that the electrical system is in compliance with the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and local building codes. Electrical inspections are typically performed by qualified electricians or electrical inspectors. They will inspect the wiring, receptacles, switches, and other electrical components to identify any problems. They will also check to make sure that the electrical system is properly grounded and bonded. If any problems are found, the inspector will provide a written report with recommendations for repairs. It is important to have electrical inspections performed regularly, especially in older homes. Older homes may have outdated wiring or other electrical components that are not up to current safety standards. Electrical safety is a shared responsibility. Homeowners, landlords, and tenants all have a role to play in ensuring that electrical systems are safe. Homeowners should have their electrical systems inspected regularly and make any necessary repairs. Landlords should ensure that rental properties are in compliance with electrical codes and provide tenants with information about electrical safety. Tenants should report any electrical problems to their landlord and follow safe electrical practices. By working together, we can create a safer electrical environment for everyone. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is updated every 3 years. It is important to stay up to date on the latest changes to the NEC to ensure that electrical installations are safe and compliant. The NEC is available for purchase from the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. It is also available online through various subscription services. Continuing education is important for electricians and other electrical professionals. Continuing education courses can help them stay up to date on the latest changes to the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and learn about new technologies and techniques. Continuing education courses are available from various organizations, including the Independent Electrical Contractors, or IC, and the National Electrical Contractors Association, or NECA. Safety training is also important for electricians and other electrical professionals. Safety training courses can teach them how to work safely with electricity and avoid electrical hazards. Safety training courses are available from various organizations, including the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA. Electrical safety is a critical concern in residential, commercial, and industrial settings. Adherence to the National Electrical Code, or NEC, along with diligent maintenance and regular inspections, are vital for preventing electrical hazards and ensuring the safety of people and property. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity and consult with qualified professionals when needed. Electrical work should only be performed by licensed and experienced electricians who are familiar with the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and local building codes. This ensures that the work is done safely and correctly. If you are not a qualified electrician, do not attempt to perform electrical work yourself. Doing so can be dangerous and may violate local building codes. Instead, hire a qualified electrician to do the job. When hiring an electrician, be sure to check their credentials and make sure they are licensed and insured. You should also ask for references and check their online reviews. A good electrician will be able to answer your questions and provide you with a detailed estimate of the cost of the work. Once you have hired an electrician, be sure to communicate your needs clearly and ask any questions you may have. You should also be present during the work to ensure that it is being done to your satisfaction. After the work is completed, be sure to inspect it carefully and make sure that everything is working properly. You should also ask the electrician for a written warranty on their work. By following these tips, you can ensure that your electrical work is done safely and correctly. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. The information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector for specific recommendations and guidance.